That's powerful stuff. And look who's here, Maryland congressional candidate Kim Klacik. Hey, Kim, it's great to see you. Why do you think
Hey,
your
good to
video
see
took
you.
off so powerfully on social? I'm so glad you're on. Your video really went viral. Why are people responding to it, do you think?
Well, I think honestly, it was just because it was so accurate. What we did is we gave the truth. And so, like I said in the video, Baltimore has been run by Democrats for over 50 years, and this is the results. And I think we see that across the country right now, like you said, with these Democrat run cities. When you are not tough on crime, when you don't push law and order, unfortunately, you have bad actors that take control of the city, and it's, devastating the country as we see.
Are you
I can.
hearing the same thing from other voters?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Gallup just did a poll where they showed 81% of Black Americans do not want to defund the police. They actually want more of a police presence. And some people want more funding for the police. We talk about police reform, and the only way to do that is to properly train them, right? And to properly train anyone, you would need more funding. So on the ground, especially in Baltimore, we had the riots in 2015. We saw devastation on our end, but it didn't end until we had excessive force and we used law and order. So President Trump deploying the National Guard into these cities is the right thing to do.
But Joe Biden today said there were not any riots on Obama's watch when President Obama called in 1,500 National Guard troops to Ferguson, and there were also riots in 2015 in Baltimore. And
Yeah.
Obama said at that time he will not tolerate looting and rioting. So why the Democrats not being more forceful in condemning this right now? What do you think?
I think they're just allowing the mob to take control. They're almost like backing them into a corner. We've got the cancel culture that basically wants people to, be negative towards the police. And I think some of these mayors and city council members are doing just that. It's going to take now excessive force to stop any of this. And it's sad that so many people have lost their lives. And I also want to point out, if you look at what happened in Baltimore and Minneapolis, in Michigan, you saw a lot of bad actors that were outsiders. So a lot of those that were arrested were actually not within the community. And so I don't know if there's an agenda. There could possibly be one. But now you've got to arrest those bad actors and actually push some more law and order. So I'm glad that President
Yeah.
Trump got involved.
Yeah, FBI sources have continued to say there are professional anarchists involved in this. 30 people now dead related to the unrest. There have been 17 cities hit with rioting and chaos and unrest. Now, you spoke on the first night of the GOP convention. You said Joe Biden thinks black voters can't think for themselves. Can you talk more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I was referring to his interview that he had on the Breakfast Club, and he said, you know what, if you can't decide between me and Trump, then you ain't black, is exactly what he said. And for me, that was offensive. I know a lot of people that were offensive on both the left and the right that are black Americans. And, our vote, the way we think, it is a monolithic. We know how to ask for things on our end, as we see with the athletes today. They're trying to make demands on behalf of individuals that are dealing with police brutality. But I think a lot of people are now recognizing, look, the conservative way might be the way to go. With my campaign, we knock doors every single day of the week. And we're talking to more and more people that are for school choice. They're for, just a better education system altogether. And they're actually for more of a police presence. So what we hear on the mainstream media channels is not what we hear in the community.